Hi guys, and welcome back to Hometime with Robbie and Susie. Today we're going to continue looking at things transport. So I know we've already looked at cars, trains, and even planes. So today we're going to look at things that travel through the water like boats and submarines.
Hi, I'm Robbie. Hi, I'm Susie.
Hi, I'm Miss Carly, the teacher. It's time for
Hometime
with Robbie and Susie.
I have hands,
I have hands.
watch me clap.
Watch me clap.
Oh, what a miracle am I have feet,
I have feet.
watch me stand.
Watch me stand.
Oh, what a miracle am Oh, what a miracle, oh, what a miracle, every little part of me. I'm something special, so very special, there's nobody quite like me. I have arms,
I have arms.
watch me swing.
Watch me swing.
Oh, what a miracle am I have legs,
I have legs.
they can bend and stretch.
They can bend and stretch.
Oh, what a miracle am Oh, what a miracle, oh, what a miracle, every little part of me. I'm something special, so very special, there's nobody quite like me. I have a spine,
I have a spine.
it can twist and bend.
It can twist and bend.
Oh, what a miracle am I have a 1 foot,
I have a 1 foot.
watch me balance.
Watch me balance.
Oh, what a miracle am Oh, what a miracle, oh, what a miracle, every little part of me. I'm something special, so very special, there's nobody quite like me. There's nobody quite like me.
You know what? I have a great song about the sailors that went to sea. Would you like to sing along with me? A sailor went to sea, to see what he could see, but all that he could see was the bottom of the deep blue sea. Would you like to sing with me this time? All right, get your singing voices ready. A sailor went to sea, to see what he could see, but all that he could see was the bottom of the deep blue sea. Ah, that's such a nice, quick song to sing. Do you know what? My friend Stacy has got a really great story coming up. Come and have a look.
Hi everyone, I'm so excited to be doing story time with you today. I have a story about a boat that goes sailing, but this is a different story. It's not a story with a book, it's a story, and I'm going to use this piece of paper. But before I can start my story, I need your help because we need to fold it in half, and I need to make my boat for my story. So I'm going to fold it in half again. I'm going to open it, and we are going to make one more. I have made my boat that's going to go sailing in my story, and it's also my captain's hat. And Today, my story is about a man, and his name was Captain Jack. And Captain Jack loved going sailing. He went sailing around the deep blue seas, and he was fearless. He was not afraid of any waters, no matter how rough they were. But one day, he decided that he wanted to go traveling the world because he'd heard all these rumors and stories that there was this big treasure box filled with unimaginable treasures. As Captain Jack got ready to sail, he was not afraid because he'd sailed all the waters all over the world, and he was determined to find this treasure box. So he packed his bag. He had to make sure that he had clothes and food and water, and he had to check his boat. Had to make sure all his sails and his boat was safe and ready to go. And once everything was ready, he was off, ready to sail his adventure. He casted off his boat from the dock and he started sailing the enchanted waters on this adventure to try and find the treasures. But upon looking for this destination, his journey was going smooth at first, but he was having trouble finding this island with all the treasures. But then, on the 7th day of sailing, oh my goodness, the weather changed and there was an unimaginable storm. It began to brew and brew and brew. There was big gales of wind. Ooh, there was big thundering, and the rain began to fall. It was roaring and thundering all around, and the waters began to get rough. His boat was going up and down, rumble, rumble, rumble. There was thunder all around. There was lightning flashing, and then all of a sudden, crack, boom. Oh no. Lightning hit the top of his boat, and it teared off the boat. Oh no. Do you think his boat could still sail though? Luckily, it could. So Captain Jack, he was so brave and he was a very good sailor. He set off sailing up and down, but the water, it kept hitting his boat, and Captain Jack had to keep holding his breath. All this water kept hitting him, and as the water came and came, guess what happened? The waves were tossing his boat around, and guess what? The front of his boat came straight off. Do you think his boat could still sail? Luckily, it could still sail, but it wasn't easy. So he kept on going and he kept on going, and it was very tricky, but the waves, they kept hitting his boat, and water started filling up and filling up and filling up. And then all of a sudden, the water got so heavy. The other end of his boat got broken. And Captain Jack was starting to get very worried because the thunder and the waves kept hitting him, and the lightning and the thunder was so scary. And then, do you think his boat could still sail? It couldn't. The water started filling up and up on the boat, and poor Captain Jack was getting so scared. And so he jumped off. He had to jump off the boat. He didn't want to sink with it, and he had to start swimming and swimming, trying to find a safe island. And as the water filled up, his poor boat began to sink. Oh no. But luckily, poor Jack, he swam and he swam and he swam and he swam to safety. He was so glad that he was safe and his feet were on an island, but he wasn't sure where he was because it was so dark and gloomy outside. But then he saw something. Something was floating and tossing around in the water. So he had a look. Do you know what it was? It was Captain Jack's shirt. When he jumped off the boat, his poor shirt had fell off, and he was so worried about swimming to safety that he didn't realise he'd lost his shirt. But luckily, it had safely floated across all those waves back to him. He was so glad to have his shirt back because he was getting a little bit cold too. But do you know what? Poor Captain Jack, he didn't get to find the treasures, and his poor boat got wrecked. But do you think that stopped Captain Jack from sailing? It didn't. Captain Jack loved the water, and he was very excited to go back out on the water and in his boat, and he knew he was going to find that treasure one day. Did you like my story? Captain Jack was so brave. Do you think you would have got scared sailing in all that rough water? I know I would have. But do you know what? I loved that even though his boat sunk, he was still determined he's going to find that treasure. And do you know what? I think he will find that treasure one day. But do you know what? I know another song about a boat. It's about a rowing boat. Do you know what song I know? I think you do. Row, row, row your boat. Maybe you can get your oars out and you can pretend to row with me. Are you ready? Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Maybe the water's a little bit rough this time. Ready? Rock, rock, rock your boat gently to and fro. Merrily, 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 down the stream we go. Should we row again? Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Do you know that song? I think you might. But do you know what? I think we're going to do an experience with water today, and we're going to look at things that maybe sink and float, just like our boats float in the water. So let's go see what we're going to do.
Welcome, Stacey. That was such a great story. Well done, Captain Jack, for persevering. His boat sank. We're actually going to look at some water now and see what in our box sinks or floats. We don't know.
Oh, we don't. Oh, this will be a fun experiment.
Should we use a big word prediction to decide which ones we think might float and which ones might sink and then have a try?
Oh, I think that's a good idea because sometimes you might see something and think, that's gonna float, and that's your prediction.
Yeah. So let's put the ones on this side that we think are going to float and the ones on this side that we think are going to sink.
Oh,
Okay.
I like that.
Let's have a look what we have in here. First of all, we have a lid. You could get any type of lid. What do you think might happen to this one, Stacey?
I think the lid might float.
I think you might be right. Let's put it over here. Okay, and we have a boat. This Captain Jack on the front of his boat.
Well, it's a boat. It's gonna float.
Yeah, okay, put that on the float side. What about this ram?
I'm not too sure. What do you think?
I think this one's, heavy, so I think it might sink.
Oh, let's definitely see. What else have we got?
Oh, there's a little insect in here. He's not real, but it's a praying mantis. He's tiny. Not sure. What do you think about this one?
I think he might float. I think this one's gonna swim. Do
Okay,
you think he's gonna swim?
he might.
Let's see.
Okay, let's pick just two more. I have a crab claw. Click, 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 click. What do you think about this dude?
I think he might sink.
Okay, let's put him on the sink one. I'm not sure about that one. I think that one might float. One more thing. Oh, my rock. This is a special rock. Looks like the shape of Australia. It's pretty heavy. What do you think might happen to this rock?
I definitely think that one's gonna sink.
I think so too. I'd be interested to see what happens if we put it on top of some of the things that float.
Oh, we might be able to try that next.
Okay, I think we should try your things first, Stacey. Would you like to put one in?
And so we've got our
Oh.
water,
Of course.
and are we gonna change the color?
I think we should.
Do you think we should make it blue?
Yeah.
Let's make it a bit of fun.
Yeah. Okay, let's see how many drops can we put in there. 1 and 2. Oh. Okay, and then we need our stir over here. Oh, look what's happening. Is it sinking? Let's have a look. Now we can see that some of the dye has sunk right to the bottom and some still floating. Now we're going to mix it up. Let's see if we can swirl the top. Oh, look.
Oh, look at the water start to change.
Moving around, can we make a whirlpool? And it's all mixed in.
Oh, this definitely looks like our blue sea now.
Yes. Okay, let's see which ones are going to sink and which ones are going to float.
I'm gonna try our lid first. So we think it's gonna float.
Let's try.
See. Yay! It did float. It's like our little floating boat.
It's even spinning around because we made a whirlpool. Might spin it a little bit more.
I think you're making the rough seas from our story on Captain Jack.
Oh, it might sink then in the rough seas. Like
Let's hope it
Captain
doesn't
Jack.
fill with water.
Let's see what else we can put in there.
Well, I'm going to try my boat. I'm a bit unsure now though because it's a very heavy wooden boat. So let's see. What do we think?
Float.
Let's go.
Oh,
Oh,
it does float.
it does float. It fell on its side though, but it is just floating. We had it on the right side.
We did. Well, it's half floating. It's just on the top.
All right, so we're going to try.
The praying mantis.
I think he's going to float. So let's
Okay.
see. Oh,
Up and upside down.
he jumped straight to the bottom.
Wow. Okay, let's see what happens when we put him on our boat. Oh, doesn't make it go any further.
Can we see? Here he is. He's now on our boat.
But he did sink, so let's put him in the water and see which one. So, our predictions was true about our lid and our boat, but we were wrong about our praying mantis. But predictions and all mistakes is learning.
It
So
sure is.
we learnt something today.
So
Okay,
what do you have on your side?
my turn. So I have a ram, which we think is going to sink. He's pretty heavy, so I think we're right. Let's see. Oh, straight away. He went straight to the bottom. We're just going to move him over there because we need to put some more in.
We need to be able to see.
Okay.
What else do we have?
We have our rock, and we think that, can you see how it's shape of Australia? It's even got Tasmania there, and we think that it's going to go straight to the bottom. What do you think?
I think it's going to go plonk to the bottom.
Okay, let's see. Oh, definitely.
It even made a little splash there.
It did. Would change our lid. So let's see. That's it. Put our lid
our
in the
lid in the
middle and see what happens if we carefully put it. It makes something sink.
Oh, you were right.
Oh, I was wrong. I thought it might float.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. We'll
But
just
it's-
move it over.
It's fun to have a play around with things like that to see if it will change the weight of something.
That's right, because this praying mantis that sunk still floated in here, but the rock sunk and sunk. So we'll see what happens next. Okay, this little claw, I don't think it's going to sink. I think it's going to float because I think the crab needs its claw up high, needs it to float.
Oh, I think I'm going to say it's still going to sink. So
Okay.
let's wait and see.
Let's see. Oh,
Oh!
it did a bit of both.
Oh! It wanted to float,
It
but
did.
I think it filled with a little bit of water and went down, 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 down.
To the bottom. Okay, let's see if we put this one, look at all that water, I think that's what sank it, inside our lid, what will happen?
It's floating.
So I wonder why these two can float in our lid and this one, it sinks in our lid.
Ooh, that's a good question.
I wonder if it's because these two are small and this one's big, or if this one's heavy and these one's light. Let's see if we can find something that's as big as the rock but as light as these two. Let me see what I can find in here. Do you think this shell is not quite as big? What about this? Well, this is as big but still quite light. So this might help us know if it's about big or heavy. Could you please predict, Stacey, what you think is going to happen?
I predict that our yellow lid and our little fish Play-Doh toy is all going to float.
Okay.
Because I think it's still light enough.
Okay, let's see. What? You are amazing. You're very good at this prediction thing. Do you think it's because it's made out of plastic?
Oh, well, what happens with a plastic goat or ram? He went to the bottom,
True.
but I think it might be weight because he's very heavy.
Yes, that makes sense. Do you think if our boat was made out of something else, it might sink to the ground too, because I have a piece of wood here. It's a very pretty piece of wood. And we think that because this is wood and this is wood, that this wood would float. Well, I think. What do you think?
Well, I think it might float, yeah.
Let's have a try and see.
Should we move these out so that we can all see?
That's a good idea. And do you think like this piece of wood, it will go mostly under or will stay on top?
I think it'll go mostly under, but still float on top. That's my prediction.
Okay, I think it will stay all the way on the top.
All right, should I put it in?
Yeah, let's see.
All right, I'll put it in gently. Oh, it is floating all
On the top.
along the top.
I think so, because all of this is still dry. So I think that means it's floating all on the top.
Oh, this is some great science and experiments that we're doing with predictions and hypothesizing on what's going to happen.
I think so. I wonder if when you're in the bath and you have some bath toys, if you could predict what your toys, you might already know, because you might already know what your bath toys do. But I wonder if you could add some extra things in your bath tonight. Ooh, to see what might happen. Ooh,
Oh,
interesting.
I think that might be a great idea. The children at home can do some
Predicting?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, you might be able to find some things outside, so some leaves, and see if they float or sink, or some nuts. You could even find some things inside. There's so many things you could take in your bath tonight. We have had such a great week, haven't we? Learning about all the things transport. We've looked at boats and trains and planes and cars.
And rockets.
Yes, and traffic lights, all sorts of things. We've had so much fun. Thank you for coming along with us, because we've had such a great time that you have come along. And we can't wait for next week. I wonder what we're going to learn on Home Time with Robbie and Susie next week. We can't wait. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you then.